Let's dive on into some gameplay here, huh? So this first deck we're starting out with, like most of the decks that we play here, is a viewer submission. So we're playing Leona plus Riven. Leona is the Daybreak champion payoff, whatever you want to call it. So gets a bonus if it's the first card you've played in the round. Leona's Daybreak is Stun the strongest enemy. She's leveled when you've Daybroken 4 times, which is notably she doesn't have to see, so she levels very quickly and consistently. If you have the perfect Daybreak curve on 1, 2, 3, 4, you can actually play her leveled on turn 4, which is quite powerful. Her leveled mode says whenever you activate another Daybreak, stun the strongest enemy thing. Her leveled mode is exceptionally powerful when paired with the Daylight's Spear, which here says it is always day for you, which means you can trigger Daybreak multiple times in a single turn with Leona, stunning multiple opposing things. Our other champion in this deck here is Riven, who is the Reforged champion. Reforged creates you one of the 3 blade fragments at random that you still need to reforge the blade, so either extra attack, overwhelm, or quick attack. And once you've played all 3 of them, you get the permanent bonus Blade of Exile here, which gives you 2 attack, overwhelm, and quick attack. The rest of the deck, on top of Leona's Daybreak package of Soldiers, Shield Bearer, and Priestess, we have good interactive cards like Culling Strike and Scorched Earth out of Noxus, some Pale Cascades, Goats, Hushes, and then a few copies of Daddy Pharaon here at the top end to break some sieges. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it feels in our first dive into the post Pack Your Bags world where it costs a little bit more mana. What's up, dude? You may talk.
Do monsters actually go up to like actual spell cards?
Sometimes units have spells that are associated with them. So the champions have spell cards that they turn into sometimes. Because you can't have 2 of the same champion to play out.
The champions just turn into spell cards?
Yep, if you already have a copy of the champion, the extra one turns into a spell card.
But if you already have that spell card, then it just turns to...
Alright, Draven Ezreal, Scorched Earth probably isn't particularly good here. I think I'm into keeping both of these as early blockers. They attack profitably into Draven as well. Gonna mulligan these, looking for extra threats here. Yeah, I agree. I actually think so, and this is something we've seen before when nerfs happen. So for people that have been playing Runeterra for a long time, something that happened was when they nerfed, what's the word I'm searching for? When they nerfed They Who Endure, its win rate actually went up after they nerfed it, because the play rate of the deck went down, so the only people still playing it were people who had played it a ton and really liked it. So even though the total presence of the deck went down, the win rate actually increased after cards were made worse. And I think there's a chance we could see something similar with Pack Your Bags. I think you're going to see the play rate of it likely drop off pretty significantly, but I wouldn't be surprised if the win rate stays the same or even increases. Attack with both of these. They want to throw the spider in front of here. I think that's fine. I'm going to Pale Cascade to save my goat here. Because the goat has gems for antlers, so every time he hits, he gets us a gem, which is nice.
But you might want to do that again?
Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if the current iteration isn't far from optimal, Lampton.
What happens if you free gem it how much damage?
No, he always gives us just 1 gem. I'm just passing here. I think I'm pretty content to bank spell mana if they want to do that for the turn.
So, but you still need to give him so much health because give more damage to health.
They weren't likely to attack with this anyways into my go, but I think deploying Leona here is fine. Just getting my Daybreak triggers going.
Your guy can one-shot all of their 6 spider guys. That go can one-shot all of them.
Maybe. Well, they can. If they block, they would trade him because he only has 1 life point. So even the 1 attack guy would eat my goat. We're still pretty high life total, so no reason to deploy the Sunforger to lifesteal. I think we're going to go ahead and just play the Day Spear here, get more of our daylight triggers going to work towards leveling Leona up and probably pressure in with these two.
Okay.
Leona's pretty far off of leveling, so if Leona trades for like a block plus like a flock, I think that's a fine exchange for us, so. They did. They Mystic Shotted my goat.
Yep, another one?
I guess attacking with both of these is mediocre against Noxious Guillotine next turn.
Oh, you do have another go in your deck. I see the little antler.
Oh, they're just thermo beaming. Sure, that seems fine for us.
Play another go, because I see one right down there. I caught this too. I see the little antler.
We do have another goat. You're right.
I see one there. Sent me that I think that's the last goat.
This is our last goat in hand. You're not wrong.
So should we play him right now?
That's the goat.
Okay. But he started at 3 damage since the other goat had 3 damage earlier, right?
Yep, the goat is a 3/2, 3 attack and 2 life.
But he had 5 attack earlier. Remember?
Sometimes you can power the units up. That's true. We gave him a pale cascade to make him stronger.
That guy always has 5 damage.
5 to start.
5 to start. So.
I think that's fine.
What did the damage do?
The gems heal your guys.
And get them more attack.
And give them more attack. You're right. It does both.
Oh. If you give that to the Sun Guardian fiend, you can kill him, plus you can give him a bunch more attack.
So we're gonna go ahead and play the gem on here to heal this. Healing it means that it's no longer vulnerable to guillotine or fervor. I'm gonna go ahead and call the Ezreal now. There could be merit to waiting until they go to attack with the Ezreal, but striking it right away means I'm not gonna lose mana.
Now he does 6 damage. If you do it again, you just have 6 health and 6 damage.
Well, he's not hurt, so you can't heal him above 5, but we can give him extra attack. JV, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Huh? Wonder if we just do this turn.
The most attack, so the 8 damage guy can one-shot your one guy on the field.
No, that's true. They can't attack my monsters directly.
And 8 damage, so
6, 7, 8, 9. The problem with playing my own Pharaon here is I would end up burning cards out of my hand. So I think I play this as an attempt to just fog their Pharaon for the turn.
8 damage like their other guy. So that means you can almost get one shot their monster, but then you just did something to his damage. Okay.
Raise your weapon,
Now
Sunwit.
you just made his damage go down. The big ball guy had 8 earlier, but then
He did. He gets a temporary bonus till end of turn.
Oh. So you can play him for 1 turn. And then he just has 4 for the rest of the turns?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I can play Daddy Pharaon and my hand won't overfill, which is nice.
Wait. Is that like a bat?
It's a battle axe, yep.
A bat
Yes.
a bat axe? A bat axe?
That's kind of unfortunate.
The bat axe. Yep, it's a bat axe.
So we want to gem something here
No.
just so we don't burn our hand next turn. I think we're just doing this one.
Yeah, but you said +1.
I don't really want to attack into this, so I think we're just passing. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying the Zoe Victor deck. I think the Zoe Victor shell's the best Victor deck I've played so far.
I think you should. I don't know.
Unbeliever.
You have the bat
No
axe.
mercy for heretics.
I think I'm gonna block with this and hush this to gain a bunch of life.
Wait. Hush?
Wipe the overwhelm off it.
Hush, hush, hush.
You know what hush means? It means it's a little annoying. Maybe I'm supposed to block with something a little bit larger to prevent that from happening. Yeah, I was planning to sunburst to finish this.
Oh, you should actually dance so you're gonna finish him, huh? 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 Huh?
I think I'm just decimating at this point.
Wait, you just played your battle with bat axe.
Yeah, it does 4 to the dome.
4 damage, you mean to the dome of redness?
The dome of their nexus.
The dome of evil? Or the big...
I mean, it's a good play if they know we have Sunburst in hand, and we've played 2 Ravi Day Spears, so like, assuming that we have access to this card after 2 of these is not unreasonable.
Do you have to play Sunburst and beat this?
So now that they've finally done that, playing another Sunforger here sounds great. So we can go ahead and gain some life here. Hoping to dodge another Arachnoid Sentry here.
Upgrade.
Thought you'd never ask.
Enrollment? Upgrading?
Leveling up.
Option up for... What? It's because they're all sun guys? They're kind of like suns.
I think I actually want to give this to attack, huh?
Wait.
That'll gain us back to 20. I'm gonna hold this one back. The rest of these attacking in seems fine.
Should attack their... What? They why keep want to taking their own health going down, but they keep getting healed. Like they don't die. Like their guys are just do not let him die.
I would assume they don't want to die, correct?
But you're set.
I guess my attack here is kind of loose.
How have I been attacking you? Why have I never attacking you? Oh.
I think I'm just sunbursting this.
Yep, that's
That's their second Ezreal. I like holding this back so that way I can run back the block this plus hush it to prevent overwhelm again.
50.
Is my plan.
To their health.
I think throwing away the 3-1 like into their Ezreal is not great. We had already attacked that turn, bud. It's not a terrible draw. Second Captain Pharaon is probably game over.
Oh, yep, I guess.
I don't think we really have the tools to beat a second copy of that.
2 copies?
Am I supposed? I think I have to play this out as like a fog for the turn.
15 health and that 8 can put you down to like 1. Almost like 1. I don't know.
Yep, and they have 20 damage worth of decimates in their hand here as well. So we're in a position where we kind of have to race, and we can't really.
Baby, Tina doesn't attack their wife. Can you do 5 damage to their wife points?
I think we're just gonna go ahead and decimate here. It leaves us Hush available.
Hush means... Oh, you just put them down to 9.
I think we're kind of seeing how their deck outclasses ours in terms of being mid-rangey. Like, part of the reason why our opponent was able to find double, like, we're playing 3 Captain Pharaons in our deck, but a big part of the reason why our opponent was able to be successful here was related to the fact that, like, they just saw more cards than us, right? So, like, for example, they're through 20 cards in their deck, and we're only through, I guess we're through 17. Still a few more than us. And like, we're ending at 9 here, and they still have bought this and 5 decimates in hand, so.
Yeah, 9, but no.
I mean, I don't really know that it's that unlucky. Like their deck is playing card selection, and our deck is not. So I don't really know. I think a lot of the time people.
Why did you make yourself lose?
Because they were gonna beat us, so I didn't make them click through it. I think a lot of the time people will write off a game like that and say I got unlucky, as opposed to acknowledging, hey, my deck is constructed in a way that makes it strictly inferior in this matchup. Declan sitting here serves to act as the living embodiment of Twitch chat. So he vocalizes what people in Twitch chat would like to pound out. Zion, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
You have to attack all their way.
Culling Strike sounds great against their Misfortune Quinn deck. Pale Cascade honestly sounds like a fine combat trick too. I get to play Soldier and then hold Pale Cascade and then have Priestess on 3, so this hand actually seems very reasonable.
So guys, oh, there's your little shark. There's your Sharpie.
He's our press secretary. Oh, Declan. Yeah, I'll just take the pass here.
Did you not see your turn? You got your back. Taking always a bit.
Honestly, I might just cycle this and push damage this turn. Yeah, let's see if they block. There's a good chance they block here. Yeah, let's do this and get them in combat here. Chat likes your hair. Your hair pretty cool? I think your hair is pretty cool. Wish I had hair like yours. Your father has no hair. He is bald.
And why do you always cut it?
Because it's very thin. My hair's not thick like yours.
And why would it be thin?
I think I'm into the warrior here. This outsizes a lot of their stuff. It could be wrong because I already have a 5-drop rolled up, but we'll see. Put your tongue in your mouth. Am I crazy, by the way? Or did they change the color brown that these nameplates use? Am I making that up, or is that real?
Follow the horizon.
Yeah.
They did. They're darker, right? Yeah, okay.
If it's real, it's real, it's real, it's real. I see right now still on the screen. It's real. It's real.
Nothing gets
You see it on the screen, it's real. That's gonna be there forever. Nope. Not running just nope.
Let's day spear and see what we get here.
Light surrounds you.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kaboom.
I believe the RTX is on. Yeah, it's on. Hopefully we see them sharp sight here and we get them with Hush. Perfect. Hush, little Valor, don't say a word. 5-5's gonna shove you in a box. Don't get to tune in often these days, but I have some downtime this morning. Thanks for the 10 months, Sugio. Good to see you around. Hope you're staying safe out there in the world with all the insanity.
Scouting ahead.
That's true. It might be a little bit of a difference, Jake versus Declan, in terms of how RTX behaves. So, I think there's a good chance if I play this warrior, my opponent just passes, then we get to burn their mana, which I'm super into. Get to gain some tempo here on board.
Marcian needs heroes.
Being able to work from home is a is nice.
Unyielding light.
Unyielding light. And then our board is ahead of theirs at this point because
Just like hunting thresher geese.
because we didn't have to take time off, which is great. Or we didn't take last turn off, basically. We've got some thick monsters here. It's fine. You've killed my 2-1.
The dead don't need riches.
Fall, heretic.
So if they sharp sight, we pale cascade, we get to trade off.
Prepare for combat.
I think I'd rather save Hush. Yeah, saving Hush into a potential riposte is a lot of value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I play Daddy Fair on this turn, I have to burn the card I draw next turn. Am I okay? Am I okay with that? I think I'm okay with that. I could also just deploy like Shield Bearer and Soldier and then like take the pass if they don't deploy stuff. Well, yeah, but I don't have to Pharaon to press the board advantage either though, right?
We will not suffer unbelievers.
They will not escape punishment.
Stay on the target.
Yeah, I like this. Oh, I don't have Always Sunny anymore. That's fine though. It's still a 3-2. Okay, third Quinn isn't a big deal though here, right? Hey chat, you remember when we decided to save this Hush? Pepperidge Farm remembers. You want to sort up the warrior before attacks? No, I want to be able to hold up multiple combat tricks. And banking spell mana is fine here. Consider the siege broken, opponent. Sometimes the symbols, randomly disappear inside of combat. I don't know why exactly that happens. It's definitely a bug. So, that was pretty solidly in our favor there, felt like. The Daybreak package seems pretty good against these Demacia decks. Definitely felt like we were pretty far behind against Ezreal Draven, though. Started playing the ladder with Luxzoe last night, and watching you play has taught me so many things about the game and helped me improve. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Figs. Thanks for being here. That was our second Venice. So we got beat up a little bit by Ezreal Draven before that one, but that one went well. Culling Strike's pretty bad in this matchup, right? They have a lot of chunky units usually. The rest of these seem fine. I think they were talking about before I hushed Silence, but you're right. If they're talking about after the Hush definitely removes Scout.
Heretics. Punish transgressors.
Midway Monster, thank you for the 22 months of Prime support. It's a long time. Thanks for keeping me around. Welcome back. Welcome. A pretty solid start here on our side. Please, Riot, make this card a 3-2 in 3 weeks. Please make this card a 3-2 in 3 weeks. I promise you it's not busted as a 3-2.
Serve the greater good.
Not supposed to attack with these. He's technically trade with Ashe. This attack's probably bad. I'm really surprised they didn't save their 1/1 as opposed to saving 2 points of life. Getting a Troll Chant out of them there is actually really good for us. How about a 3/1 with Tough? Sure. That's probably better than a 3/2. There wasn't any mention of the Zoe bug getting fixed, which is unfortunate.
You were banned.
I really don't want to play a Leona this turn. Is it crazy to just Scorched Earth this? It's pretty resource efficient. I don't hate it, honestly. Zoe bug. The client randomly hangs sometimes when Zoe makes a super cool start turn after hitting the opponent. You know, it's not about granting keywords. It's about literally the entire client hangs, and you have to restart the client to keep playing.
Control all that have
That's a really bad bug.
It is me!
Excited to get brittle or flash freezed here.
Nice to punch you.
Hopefully these just trade. Yeah, rough. Hopefully Leona next turn will stop us from getting savaged by this.
Faster than my arrow? I think the dawn has arrived.
Carry her light across the mountain.
Carry her light across the mountains. See if they have a 1 or 2 drop to pair with Kato here. If they do, we could be in a little bit of trouble. Perfect. Round pass is great for us. So this levels Leona.
Solari control all that have
Behold the divine power of the sun!
And then I can deploy a second cheap Daybreak unit to stun their Ashe before we get to attack in.
Victory requires a sharp...
That can't block. I suppose I could technically Morning Light, but I think I want to back up Leona here.
Clad in shining sunlight. Bask in the light's radiance.
Morning Light stunning a second thing doesn't do anything with this.
Burn awaits out.
They are more likely to have a freeze with Ashe here, because Ashe's champion spell is Flash Freeze. That being said, I do at least get to Pale Cascade this to save it, so we're not going to kill the Kato here, but this also isn't going to die. So that's nice. This is ready to level next turn. They could theoretically kill us here, right? If they have, like, another Harsh Winds. If they have freezes in their hands, they could pull us off of blockers, theoretically. They could theoretically Harsh Winds, Flash Freeze, and then freeze the last one. And then this is 8, 16, 22. So yeah, if they can Frostbite 3 things at first speed out of their hand, we technically lose here.
I'll cut them apart. Face me.
give you muscle.
Avarosa, guide me.
No mercy for heretics.
Yeah, this means we're not dead here. We're taking a big chunk, but we're not dead, and hopefully we can kill them on the backswing.
Our time is now.
We'll follow you to the edge of
It's a great
daybreak.
draw. So next turn I'll have 9, 10 mana. So I can do this, this, and this and just stun their whole board down.
Bask in her radiant blessing. Behold the sun's holy light.
They have a Reckoning. I think we still kill them through that, right? They need to have something else here? Because we lead, like, this survived, so we get to lead on Leona. And then we get to go this, and stun 2 more things here.
If they're out there, I'll spot them.
The strength of the sun and my faith are one.
Howdy, Pedro.
The sun's splendor revealed.
Right? Crystal Arrow we knew was coming.
Raise your weapon sunward.
I think this heavy blade frag, depending on what this is, this heavy blade fragment might still be lethal.
Few earn the right to call themselves Trifarian.
Never not the last card. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, any blocker was good there, right? I needed that to be a card they couldn't play.
Strike while the planets align.
I think we're actually supposed to pass here, right? We're just gonna be dead to opens, though. Yeah, I don't really have any plays. Forcing blocks is actively bad because it lets them draw with this, which means they're more likely to have frostbites to make their things unblockable next turn. Yeah, they have the Archwings anyways. I think we were dead even without that.
This is but one sunset.
Not quite enough to be able to cut through the Reckoning into all the other card advantage. The opponent's archetype is very good. So far, the deck that we're playing has felt very middling against other mid-range decks. It does not feel like our interaction is good enough to keep up with what our opponents are doing. Riven and her followers have felt clunky to the point of useless so far. The 3-1 especially, the fact that like this traded down into Omen Hawks was just god-awful that game. I think I'm just not gonna play against Lee Sin for the next 3 weeks. Unless I'm playing a deck that I know has a good Lee Sin matchup, I really just don't enjoy playing against it. I guess this deck has 3 Hush, and maybe we could sneak it out, but I really just don't find those games fun or satisfying. Rocket Man, this isn't corporate America. Can you do me a favor and cut the jargon bullshit? What do you mean by clunky? Can you use actual words? What's the problem with Riven? Be detailed and specific. What do you think the actual issue is? Help me understand what you're trying to communicate to me. I actually think Riven herself is super reasonable. A 3/4 for 3 is basically the opposite of clunky. It's an above rate unit in terms of resource cost. Her followers are underwhelming because they trade down in terms of efficiency a lot of the time. But Riven herself feels super reasonable. Sure, her minions don't respond to what the opponent. This isn't a responsive card. This is a proactive card that plays to the board. So you're right that she doesn't respond well, but that's not what this card is supposed to be doing. This isn't an interactive responsive card. Would a Hush Vengeance deck be good against Lee Sin? Maybe. The problem with Vengeance is that the Lee Sin deck tends to play a bunch of denies and sometimes Bastion. So like trading your 7 mana Vengeance for their like 4 mana is usually a bad exchange. Yeah, I might cut Riven support from this list. You feel like the Fiora Shed matchup is rough for this deck? Why would it be rough? Can you articulate your thought and explain yourself to me, Ryumi? What would make this matchup bad?
I long for a worthy opponent.
Do I want to attack into a sharp sight here? I feel like I don't. My deck has a lot of reasonably statted units, as well as things like Hush to interact with what my opponent has going on, as well as things like Leona to stun on boards like this. I actually think Culling Strike tends to be a pretty mediocre card in this matchup, because Culling Strike gets blown out by both Riposte and Sharpsight. This card in general is actually another piece of interaction that I'm not super happy with in this format. I think there's a chance that this should be something else. And again, you see, when I talk about a card, and when I talk about a card being bad, I don't just say words like Culling Strike is clunky. I don't just use bullshit buzzwords that are largely meaningless. I say Culling Strike is bad, and then I give specific reasons why it's not good. And that's the key to clear communication and iterating on and building decks and thinking about why you should make changes. This is bad because the matchups where it frequently looks like it should be good, they play a lot of combat tricks that blow it out. That detail is important to understanding why changes are possibly good to be making. Too often you hear things like players throw out words like clunky or not enough tempo or needs more card draw without actually thinking through and articulating, well, what were the actual details of that? Makes your opponent respond with a card. I don't think it's that bad, but it is though, because when your opponent gets to respond with a card to stop this from happening, your opponent is effectively getting to stop your Culling Strike and buff their thing. Getting to do both of those things is a big deal. All right, Daddy. Actually, I'm actually not gonna block this because if they have a Riposte or a Sharpsight, I don't want to lose this. So. Savage me. It's good to make them preactively buff. Not really. The power in these cards is in reactive cards like this is that you're supposed to be able to use them inside of combat when your opponent opens attacks. I mean, I don't even know that it's fair to call this a Go Fish moment because my opponent's deck has so many cards that blow it out. I don't think Go Fish is an apt comparison there. Like, they have Deny and Notify sometimes too, right? So, like, they have, like, a dozen cards that, like, stop these Culling Strikes from working. And, like, that turn was such a perfect example of it, right? My opponent stopped both my pieces of removal and pushed extra damage in the process. You can't play it out like they don't have. I don't understand what does that actually mean? You can't play it out like they don't have it. Can you give me an example of like what your ideal situation is then?
May our light shine forever.
Two down.
This randomly generated sunburst might be our saving grace for killing this Fiora. Maybe. I don't want to deploy any other smaller units to the board, so I don't want her to have free eats. Hush is a great pickup here as well.
Strike quickly, strike deftly.
En garde.
You see, Jeff, if you only pay attention to situations when it works 100% of the time. That's true. That's true. Yeah, and Fiora is more copies of those cards too, right? Like, Fiora includes more copies of Riposte in their deck. Like, again, it's fine to say there's situations where Culling Strike isn't just dead, and I'd agree with you, that's accurate. There are situations where Culling Strike is okay. But, like, there are situations where Culling Strike is okay, and in the average case scenario, Culling Strike is okay. Those two things are different. So, I'm gonna go ahead and gem this here. So that way this can kill their Fiora through a sharp sight.
It must be done.
Try me.
Our wills align.
Yeah, I'm gonna hush their card, Lampton. So I'm going to hush their Fiora, and now if they have a Riposte, which is likely because it's her champion spell, they get us. But if they only have Sharp Sight, we get to kill them here.
My father's blade.
Okay, so then now the out is we have to hope to hit Meteor or Comet off of this, and my opponent needs to not have a single combat or a concerted strike next turn, and they need to not have a deny. So, like, pretty likely about to lose to this Fiora. Oh, so she didn't get a 3 out of 4. That could be our saving grace here. I forgot Hush took one of her count away. That could definitely do it for us here. All right, we hit on the 50%er. You're pretty likely to hit one of the two. I don't know how we beat that.
I write the rules of power.
I guess it starts with drawing another one of these and commenting this next turn. Grinch, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, you have to kill it or you never win combat again is accurate. So we finally won the Fiora sub game, and now the Fiora sub game they made it to this. Okay, so they didn't open attack, so Leona gets to happen here now. So we've got that going for us this turn.
Daylight breaks on the battlefield.
They still have good attacks though, because this got a barrier from this, and this is gonna give this a barrier. Are they about to deny my stun trigger? Single combat. Yeah, nothing to do about that.
Glorious light rains down. Yes, light.
So I go.
Usually they play 1 or 2 copies of this as a go late card like this in instances like this.
Silly thing.
1 versus 0. Those are about a wash, right? If they had Sharp Sight, I have Star Shaping. So what's the play here? I think we're playing this and hoping to find a way to answer stuff they have on board. I unfortunately do not have another Celestial card here. Oh, Riposte with this would have killed us. I wasn't thinking about that. I don't know, I think we're dead anyways. Needed to hit the 10-10 to be able to challenge this, and even then we'd probably be in a bad spot. I mean, it's largely the same as the old Patch Average Magic player. Pack Your Bags wasn't actually that commonly played. I'm glad the patch happened, but like Pack Your Bags was like, you know, 10% of the format or less in Platinum. Did not run into it that frequently. All right, so I suppose the play here is Shield Bearer into this. Hope to hit a 1 or 0 cost Celestial to play out more stuff to the board.
These woods protect their own.
Keeper, our lands need us.
Alright, I'm gonna let him attack next turn because I wanna watch this thing get huge. I wanna see what put me to a very tiny number.
They would fall by my blade.
I sense an imbalance.
I never hold back. Oh God! Trespass here. Nature blesses her followers.
Nice. I mean, the change to Pack the Bags will change play patterns that will give other decks more counterplay in that matchup. Alright, so far, the problems with this deck feel like we don't have enough meaningful late game to go toe-to-toe with what the other decks are doing in the late game, and our interaction doesn't feel like it's meaningful enough in those matchups. Both Culling Strike and Rune Weaver have not felt like particularly playable cards. I mean, I think those are the only 2 really bad cards in our deck. I think that's a little bit not nuanced enough to just say there's bad cards. Heathen, thanks for 19 months. Welcome back. I don't know that we really have much better interaction to be playing, though. Because we could, technically be playing Death Sand. No, I'm not registering Squire. I'm cutting Squire from all deck submissions until that card gets a change. That's not what I'm accepting. We could theoretically play more Star Shaping for the top, and this card is technically decent in the Captain Pharaon mirrors. Helps you buffer your life total back out. That's a fair suggestion. Where was it? This card could be okay. And there's going to be slightly less people telling us to go to go hard, like this card's stock goes up, right? It's technically a piece of interaction. It's another 2-drop as well. I like that suggestion. So like this is more interactive than the 3-1 that we were playing, and it can provide pressure when we don't need to be interactive. I don't hate that. That's true. Occasionally getting quick attack from Riven is good. Maybe we play a couple of weapon hilts. Let's technically give us quick attack more often. Like I think this card's actually, I think this might be the second best Reforge card right now after Riven. Just having more attack to spread out. It does like a poor man's Pale Cascade impersonation sometimes. Sorry, I was responding to a Discord message and didn't realize we had paired into Lee Sin. For people that are new to the channel, I play games for fun, and I really don't find the play patterns of Lee Sin Zoe fun, so I'm just gonna give out some free LP to folks that are playing that in the ladder for the next 3 weeks. Hey, thanks for the 20 months, Lab Rat. I appreciate that. Welcome back. It's a long time. Shacked, and a bunch of other words. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Do they get LP, or is it just subtracted? I actually don't know. That's a good question. I think you're right that they don't. I think I'm going to keep both these 3/4s for 3. There's a good stat line in this matchup. I'm going to mulligan these other two, looking for some 1s and 2s to play out. Do you think they should nerf Lee Sin or the package, or you just don't like it? I think the way Lee Sin is currently designed is incredibly unhealthy for the game. I think Lee Sin's current design reminds me a lot of why I stopped playing Magic. I'm glad that Lee Sin's design isn't the average case. It's an outlier in Runeterra. Like, Lee Sin feels like a lot of Magic decks feel. It feels like a deck where I frequently have very low player agency against it. None of my decisions matter. Super happy to take this trade here. My opponent is playing an aggressively slanted burn deck, so keeping my life total as high as possible is ideal.
There's nothing to fear. Now you've gone.
Wow, kind of surprised that they didn't open attacks there. I think I'm pretty happy to play Riven out, though. I could play this because it gets the temporary health boost, but getting Riven down and getting to start reforging sounds nice.
When will I find peace? If only those suitors were as
That explains why they didn't open. It's a pretty big hit.
out from the darkness. You will not break me.
It's not terrible. I think I just want to play as much of the board as possible this turn, so I can Shield Bearer and Glory Seeker to basically trade off for 2 things. One of the questions is going to be here is, can we survive being at 11? Opponent's deck tends to play Decimates and Noxian Fervors and stuff like that. Demolitionists, so
Make the Empire proud.
it's a good chance we get burned out from this position.
I need just a moment.
Although them putting a point of damage on here means our Scorched Earth is live, so that's nice.
For glory, you are mine.
If they open attacks here, they don't get to push any damage, which is great. Really hoping to draw Star Shaping or our other, that's a new animation. Really hoping to find Star Shaping or our Life Gain Daybreak unit. Alright, so with that play, do I want to do this? I think I want a Sisters here, or Priestess here, because I can Priestess plus this, and then this could hit Sisters to gain us life.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
Okay. So currently taking nothing inside of combat, but there's a good chance that they have more units to deploy here, so that could change. We get to block 3 things and then Scorched Earth this currently. And there's, if they go wider here and we end up taking 3 to 4 points of damage inside of this combat, there's a chance we die before this Lifesteal Sister can connect next turn.
No more hesitation.
So we're going to take 1 here if they attack with everything.
Believe or burn. Fall, heretic! No looking back.
Is there any way I can organize these better? Not really. Because this can't block this because it's fearsome.
There's still much.
I guess I could technically trade with this and leave this alive, which is better. Hey, Garlic. Thank you for the 13 months. Welcome back. Keeping me around.
Have faith. Finally, peace.
Now the question is, one, do we get burned out? And 2, even if they don't burn us out here, will they be able to either kill this or kill whatever is blocking it?
The hour is mine.
If we gain 4 here, we're going to be in a pretty okay spot. No fervor. Okay, that's step 1. I guess we're not even guaranteed to be in an okay spot. They like play a thing out here, then they have open attacks. Oh, that's an ephemeral unit. Okay, so they're only attacking us for 1 this turn. And if they don't opens, they're not going to attack us for anything because of Leona. We could just die to double burn. Dying to double burn is definitely an option.
May our light shine forever.
And this is we've stabilized the board portion of the game, but my opponent's deck pivots from being a play to the board deck into a burn deck. Yeah, star shaping is definitely our best draw at this point. You know what? I guess I probably should have played Leona here, huh? I'm gonna lose Xenoxian Fervor now. Yeah, I should have. I was greedy. This was greedy. I should have played Leona. If I would have played Leona, I could have also played Riven this turn. Wow, no attacks is good for us. That is not the droid I wanted for Christmas. So I guess we're just hoping to get lucky at this point.
The dawn has arrived, and so has it. To shine like the sun, you must burn like it. The sun's splendor revealed.
That's a thought. This could technically generate us the lifelink daybreak. Well, usually this is not a card that their deck plays, but yep, it'll do big.
This is but one sunset.
I think I'm gonna be done with this one. Yeah, I don't. The Leona Daybreak package is one we've paired with a lot of other things over the course of gameplay, and this particular combination just did not feel like a particularly good pairing. It didn't feel like it gave us the extra interaction we were looking for. It didn't feel like it gave us the extra ability to go long. Like just Captain Pharaon did not feel good enough. I'm interested to come around. We're going to be getting back to Leona Swain again sometime soon. I'm interested to see if the Leona Swain shell feels like it has similar issues to what this has, or if that feels like it's more reasonable with the Swain's interaction package, an extra Leviathan at the top end to go long. I think there's a chance that Leviathan providing stuns into the mid to late game will give it a different texture than how this deck feels. But yeah, this one definitely felt like a bit of a miss to me.